What if I told you there are 4 unique perspectives on one extraordinary life? The life of Jesus Christ. Each one paints a vivid picture of his teachings, miracles, and love. Today we'll explore the 4 Gospels according to Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. These writings have shaped faith, inspired countless lives, and continue to guide us even today. Are you ready to uncover their powerful stories? Imagine sitting around a campfire with 4 storytellers, each with their own voice and focus, yet all telling the same profound story, the story of Jesus Christ. This is what the Gospels offer us. Together, they weave a breathtaking narrative that transcends time and culture. Let's embark on a journey to meet the writers and dive into their unique perspectives. We begin with Matthew, the Gospel often considered the most Jewish in its outlook. Matthew was a tax collector, someone looked down upon in Jewish society. Yet he was called by Jesus to become one of his disciples. This transformation is reflected in Matthew's Gospel, where Jesus is presented as the long-awaited Messiah, the fulfillment of ancient prophecies. Matthew's Gospel is meticulously structured, often grouping Jesus' teachings into thematic sections. One of the most notable is the Sermon on the Mount, where we find the Beatitudes. Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. These words have inspired countless generations to seek humility, mercy, and righteousness. This gospel also emphasizes the kingdom of heaven, a central theme in Jesus' ministry. Matthew uses this phrase more than 30 times, inviting readers to envision a spiritual realm where God's will is done on earth as it is in heaven. Next, we turn to Mark, the shortest of the 4 Gospels, but arguably the most action-packed. Written for a Roman audience, Mark's Gospel is direct, urgent, and filled with vivid details. From the very first verse, Mark declares Jesus as the Son of God, and the narrative takes off like a sprint. Mark's Gospel often uses the word immediately, conveying a sense of urgency in Jesus' mission. It's a gospel of action, where miracles and healings abound. For example, in Mark 5, Jesus heals a woman who had been suffering for 12 years and raises a young girl from the dead. These stories are told with such vivid detail that they come alive for the reader. But Mark also reveals the suffering of Jesus, portraying him as the suffering servant who came not to be served, but to serve and to give his life as a ransom for many. Next, we turn to Luke's Gospel, written by a physician and meticulous historian, is often described as the Gospel of compassion. Luke's writing is inclusive, reaching out to a Gentile audience and emphasizing Jesus' care for the outcasts and the downtrodden. In Luke, we find stories that only he records, such as the parable of the Good Samaritan and the prodigal son. These parables not only illustrate Jesus' teachings, but also challenge societal norms, urging listeners to show love and forgiveness beyond boundaries. Luke also highlights the role of women in Jesus' ministry, from Mary's song of praise to the women who supported Jesus and witnessed his resurrection. This gospel reminds us that God's love is for everyone, regardless of status or background. Finally, we come to John, the most theological and poetic of the Gospels. John's opening words, "In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God," immediately set a tone of divine mystery. John's Gospel focuses on the divinity of Jesus, presenting him as the light of the world, the bread of life, and the Good Shepherd. It is in John that we find some of Jesus' most profound teachings, such as his conversation with Nicodemus about being born again, and his declaration, "I am the way, the truth, and the life." This gospel also gives us intimate moments, like Jesus' prayer in the Garden of Gethsemane and his comforting words to his disciples. "Let not your hearts be troubled." John's narrative is deeply personal, inviting us into a close relationship with Jesus. Together, these Gospels give us a complete and multifaceted picture of Jesus Christ. From his fulfillment of prophecy to his compassionate acts, from his servant's heart to his divine nature, the The Gospels are a treasure trove of wisdom, inspiration, and truth. Now it's your turn to explore these incredible texts. Which Gospel speaks to you the most? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And if you found this video insightful, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. Together, let's